All right, so we're going to write some equations in slope-intercept form. So it'd be nice if they were all written in this form and that every equation that we saw was in y equals some number times x, which is the slope, plus or minus some b, which tells us our y-intercept, because once you have those two numbers, you can graph it. But unfortunately, a lot of equations are not in slope-intercept form, so we have to solve those equations for y. Okay? So I'm just going to do the odds here. So that's going to give you a good idea how we do it. I'm not going to go through the example problem. It's there if you want to look at your notes. So they kind of walk you through it. It's a more complex one. We're going to start pretty basic. So number one, we have to solve this for y. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put my frame around the y because we got to get that by itself. And what do we have to do? Well, we're adding x, so we have to subtract x. And we have to do it to both sides. Now, I am actually going to show you first that if we do that, we basically have negative 15 minus x, right? We like to put our x term first. So what I've shown you guys before is we have to bring this, if we're going to put this in slope-intercept form, we're going to put negative, and I'm actually going to put a negative 1x minus 15. These are two ways to say the same thing. Okay? Now, we know our y-intercept is negative 15, and we know our slope is negative 1. We can now graph this equation. Okay. Next one, I have a positive y, like that. So now I'm just going to add 2x to both sides, and I'm going to add 2x to here, right? And I'm going to put the x term first. So, and in one step, I'm done yet again. So now I have 1 plus 2x, or y equals 2x plus 1. Slope is 2, y-intercept is 1. You can now graph that. Okay? Third one, we're almost there. So, third one, I have 2y is equal to negative 1x minus 8. Well, all I have to do is divide both sides by 2. And now I'm going to put it all underneath here, but I'm going to show you that this 2 is going to divide each of these. This is kind of like the distributive property. We're going to take this 2 and we're going to put it underneath each of these, and now we've got it. So we have negative 1 half, basically, right? Negative 1 half x minus, and I'm going to look at this side, right? So here, basically what I did is I look at this and have negative 1 half x. That's how I break that up. And now on this side, I have negative 8 over 2, which, well, we can do something with that. That negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4, so this becomes negative 1 half x minus 4. And now you are in slope-intercept form, right? Y is equal to, or your slope is equal to negative 1 half, and your y-intercept is equal to negative 4. Okay? Let's go to the next page. All right. So let's see, it looks like I have some decimals, so we're going to change these to fractions. Okay. Don't mess with decimals. Or we could kill the decimals, which is what I've taught you. So I'm just going to go ahead and, you know what? I'm going to kill the decimals. I mean, that's so easy to do. We're just going to multiply all those by 10, right? So we're going to basically, this all becomes 2x plus 3y equals 5. Now, you could keep them as decimals if you prefer, but why not kill them? Okay, now we are solving it for y. I'm going to put my frame around my 3y, subtract 2x here. Again, I'm going to put my x term first. So now I have 3y is equal to negative 2x plus 5. Okay, there's step 1. And now I divide both sides by 3. And I'm just going to put the 3 to each of these. Okay? So then we are done with that. And we just rewrite it as y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5/3. Now your y-intercept is just a fraction, but your y-intercept is 5/3. And your slope is negative 2/3. Okay? Next one. This one's very similar. Actually, I'm not going to do this one. Okay. This one's very similar. I'll go ahead and skip over to 10, but this one's very similar to 7, right? It's almost the same numbers when you kill the fractions, except It's 3x and 2x, 3y. This one's 3x and 2y. That one's 2x and 3y. So almost the same. Let's just go to 10. Again, another 3y and 2x. I don't know. We love that. So we're going to go ahead and just divide both sides by 3. Okay, so we're going to divide that by 3. And now I'm just going to show you on this one. Right? So y equals 2/3 x. Right? Or you could put 2x over 3. I mean, you don't have to. But there's your slope. And then, but we can simplify this. Right? I wouldn't count off if you had 15/3. But why not just make it plus 5? Because then you know that your y-intercept is 5. And your slope is 2/3. Okay, graph it. All right, next one. Let's do 12 on this one since we haven't had a distributive property. So always distribute first. All right, so we're going to distribute that. And then it's going to be one step, so it's not too bad. So we're going to get y minus 8 is equal to negative 1/2 x. Negative half, or half of 4 and make it negative is negative 2. Okay, you're almost there, but you're not in slope-intercept form yet because you have to add 8. And you have to add 8 to this. Okay, and then you will be in slope-intercept form. Y is equal to negative 1/2 x stays. Negative 2 plus 8 is positive 6. Now you're in slope-intercept form. And now you can graph it. Right? You should have done that in class where you have a slope and a point. All right? Easy to do. Maybe not so easy, but not bad. It's better than starting with that equation. Now you got slope-intercept form. Let's see which one. We'll go 13. All right, because this one has a negative in front of the y. Actually, they're both very similar. So we're going to frame our negative 4y. All right? So you subtract. Don't add 3x here. A lot of students are going to add because they see that minus 4y. So now I have negative 4y is equal to, put your negative 3x first, plus 8. And now we're going to divide both sides by negative 4. Okay? I'm just going to put it underneath each. So you see that. And now you just got a little bit of simplifying to do here. Simplify here because two negatives make a positive, so we're going to make that 3/4 x. And then we're going to have 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2. And there you go. Okay, you got your slope of 3/4, you got your y-intercept of negative 2. Now go out and graph that thing. All right, have a good day.